Oh, Alex, du siehst aus, als würdest du in den Urlaub fahren, mein Freund.
Ja, fast, ne? Ich meine, wir haben ja das große Glück, dass wir einfach ein super Wetter haben, schon die ganze Zeit. Ich kann euch leider nicht so angucken, ich muss zwischendurch mal aufs Navi schauen. Wir sind jetzt nach fast 6 Stunden Fahrt endlich hier in Kopenhagen angekommen, beim den Blue Planet National Aquarium auf Dänemark und treffen uns jetzt gleich da mit Thomas, der uns am Personaleingang in Empfang nimmt, weil es ist ja jetzt mittlerweile 10 vor 9. Und dann werden wir den Abend im Aquarium verbringen und euch mal hoffentlich ein paar tolle Eindrücke liefern können, wie das da so aussieht. Ich war selber noch nicht in diesem Aquarium. Claude war vor einigen Jahren schon mal da, in seinem ersten Leben. Und ja, jetzt hoffen wir mal, dass wir was Schönes Neues zu sehen bekommen.
Verzeihen Sie, wo ist denn hier der VIP-Eingang?
Ja, das weiß ich auch wieder nicht. Das ist ja wieder, warum ist das denn nicht ausgeschildert? Warum steht hier nicht Welcome Abyss and Fauna Marin?
So im wunderschönen Abendlicht. Ich freue mich jetzt, wie gesagt, bei mir ein paar Jahre her. Da ich weiß, wie es oben aussieht, die ganze Architektur, freue ich mich tierisch drauf. Also das wird toll.
Thomas!
Hi Alex!
Great to see you now for the first time in person. I mean, we've had some video conferences already, and I've known Thomas for quite a while. He has known our products for quite a while, and now finally we made it to Copenhagen for the first time. I'm just amazed. I mean, this is, I've seen it on video, but then it was on the phone.
Yeah.
Just at a video call, and now seeing it live is just
much
impressive.
better.
What's the size of the system?
The total system around 200,000 liters, but this show tank is 82, I think.
82 cubic meters.
Yeah, cubic meters. Then we have a big filter system in the basement, and then it's combined with other tanks around the house.
Okay.
So in this house, it's not called the coral reef; it's called Plant 8.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That's how
so
we
everything that is on Plant 8 is
coral reef.
the coral reef.
And
okay.
this is the diamond. This is what we care most about in the water quality. Also, the tank is 10 years old as the aquarium, but in the beginning we had a meltdown or a melt beginning. We couldn't have any corals, but then after 2 or 3 years, finally something happened and it started to grow, and now it
cool. Give us the dimensions of the tank, just to.
If I remember correctly, it's 17 meters long, approximately.
17.
Yeah, and then it's 3 meters high and 3 meters deep. We added 11 tons of live rock back in the days when we made it, and we have overflow boxes in every end. I think the turnover inside is around 500,000 liters an hour.
We already spotted one of our pumps in there as well. So
there's a base inside, of course.
Kurze Zusammenfassung, das Riffaquarium hat 82 Kubikmeter, ist 17 Meter lang, ungefähr 3 Meter hoch und auch 3 Meter tief. 11 Tonnen Lebendgestein wurden hier verbaut, als das Riff seinerzeit aufgebaut wurde. Und dann hat es nochmal einen kleinen Crash gegeben und dann wurde es wieder neu gestartet. Naja, und jetzt ist es so, wie es ist. Und seit über 10 Jahren steht das Aquarium jetzt schon hier. Ist also das absolute Premium-Vorzeigeobjekt, was man hier hat.
Mit Abyss-Pumpen natürlich.
Ja, auch mit Abyss-Pumpen natürlich. Die es auch bei uns im Shop gibt, ne?
Yeah. Not to forget. In the beginning of the aquarium's history, we had a glass here through. So this was one tank where we wanted to show coral-eating fish like butterfly fish and stuff. Right. And then the same in the other end where we had big angelfish and stuff. But even if it was the same water, it was the same pumps, everything was the same, they acted differently. So we had 3 different kind of aquariums with exactly the same equipment and the same water.
Okay.
And then after a few years, we were tired of cleaning the glass, and we were tired of 3 different tanks, so we actually cut it down. And then after, I would say, 6 months, it acted equal. Okay. It was quite funny. That's so, good. And another funny story is we had some fish in here. It took them 2 weeks to pass this line.
Just because they...
Because they were used to this line for 4 or 5 years. And so they stopped here and turned around, stopped here, turned around. And then
so the fish actually does not forget. Well, nope. I mean, many people say that, you know,
7 seconds or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no,
obviously not. I mean,
they really, really know what's happening.
Maybe if you hit your head hard enough, you remember.
I didn't try. We don't have so many LPS because we still have some some butterfly fish, and we still have some angel fish.
Okay.
And it's pretty difficult to catch it here.
Yeah.
Maybe you tried it at a normal small tank on maybe 1,000 liters or so.
Well,
but you can try
any
it here.
fish is already annoying, and catching a fish in an aquarium like this
it is.
must be a pain.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's almost. We have one of the baddest one there.
Yeah.
The angel from Kenya. So, and we have the similavetus also a bit hardy when we have LPS calls. So it's mostly SPS.
You all have to remember the light is just on for us because we're here at night. So normally in other countries it's already dark. So all our American friends, they will say like, what? They're in the aquarium at 9:45 and there's still sunlight out, right? Yeah. We're in Denmark, so we're pretty far north.
It doesn't get dark here until a few weeks, so it's fantastic.
Which way is the water moving now?
Actually, we have 2 pumps going that way. If I remember correctly, we also have 2 pumps going this way. And then once in a while, normally first Monday in the month, we will change the settings just to try to make something different. And now we did that, if my colleague Sebastian still does it. Okay. But I'm pretty sure we still does that. So we try to keep a different kind of current, but it will always be joined together in mostly this section. Yeah. So and then we have from the basement, from the filter system, you can't see it, but between the rocks we have some water coming out there. Okay. But back in the days when we got it handed over from the company who built the aquarium, that was it. We only got from the return pumps.
Lines.
Yeah, and that was way too little.
Then we tried. How much water is being exchanged from the return lines?
I think it's around 500,000 liters an hour, but it's not much in this big tank, so you can't actually see it. Then we try different type of small, power heads from Tunsa and stuff, the small ones. Yeah. But then we found you guys, and we got the big ones, and then you can see.
For a tank this size, you probably need to step up the game.
We also tried with PVC pipes all the way down with the garden pond pumps to see. Nothing worked like it does now.
No, this is critical equipment for a tank. Especially in this dimension. I mean, just if you would only have the volume, it's already you can't use the tiny equipment anymore. But with this shape of the tank. I imagine that this is quite complicated, especially on the edges, though. When the pumps are sitting where we're standing now, the rest of this
is the quiet area. We would actually like to have more circulation here. If you look in there, there's a small hole in the Montiporos, and there's an old Laguna pump. Okay. A garden pond pump. It's been there for 9 years, I think. It's overgrown. We can't take it out, but it's been running there for 10 years now, and it's still running. So that's actually the only circulation in this part. But the main circulation is in the big area here. Ta-da!
Wow. It is impressive. So that's 4 million liters.
That's 4 million liters, or actually, if I remember, 3.9 million liters, and then we have 100,000 liters in the overflow tank. Wow. So it's a pretty big overflow box. Then we have the big panel. It's 16 meters wide, 9 high, and a half a meter thick. And it weighs around 73 tons. 73
tons?
Yeah, and it's melted together here. So back in the days when we had it all, there was a big oven around it, and it was melted inside in 7 sections, which was lifted down through the ceiling and then melted together. And then when it was cooled down after 6 weeks, I think, it took 10 days to fill it up with water from the ocean with some big pumps. So that we borrowed from the fire department. They use for taking out fires with. Okay. So we added that in the sea, and then we had fire hoses going inside, and then it took 10 days to fill up. And then another funny story, the idea was to get the gravel, 55 tons of gravel, before we added water, because you know how much it makes the water cloudy. Yeah. But the ship got hit by a typhoon in the Philippines. No. So the container went overboard. So then it was delayed, so we had to fill up the aquarium first, and then we added 55 tons of gravel, and it arrived in 10 kilos bags. So we put it on a pallet, and then we have a big crane system, and then we lowered the pallets into the bottom, and then we had to cut it up with knives, and even it's 4 million liters of water, it took only maybe 1 hour, then you couldn't see a hand in front of you because it was so cloudy.
I bet. How long did it take the filtration to take out all the...
A little week.
All the detritus? A week?
A week only, yeah. Then it was crystal clear again. And then we added the seawater here from the coast of Denmark, and when we are done with that, the salinity was so low, so we had to add 90 tons of salt to get it up to the right level. But due to that we used the ocean, we saved 120,000 euros approximately.
Yeah, of course.
In salt. So it depends on how the salinity is in Öresund, the local sea here. Sometimes we change it with seawater, and sometimes we clean the water in the nights and then we use it again.
Alright. Kurze Zusammenfassung bislang. Aquarium hat ziemlich genau 4 Millionen Liter, wurde mit dem Seewasser hier aufgefüllt, direkt also vor der Küste. Das heißt, wir haben eine niedrige Salinität. Das muss also sozusagen erhöht werden, dann künstlich mit Meersalz. Als das Becken aufgefüllt wurde, das hat eine Woche lang gedauert, 10 Tage glaube ich. Und dann wurden 90 Tonnen Salz nochmal dazugegeben, um dann die richtige Salinität zu erreichen. Das hat aber trotzdem ungefähr 150.000 Euro weniger gekostet, als es gekostet hätte, wenn man es mit künstlichem Seesalz komplett gefüllt hätte. Also insofern ist das natürlich super, wenn man die See direkt vor der Tür hat und damit auch die Wasserwechsel machen kann.
Our prime animals is the hammerheads.
It's impressive.
They are so cool. I had the joy to catch them 12 years ago in Taiwan.
Okay.
And they were around the biggest one was 72 centimeters. So just a little baby, and now she is around, I would say, minimum 2.5 meters, and not so much of a baby anymore.
No.
So they're fantastic. And
aren't they very? I mean, obviously, I'm not a fish geek by all means, but they are usually quite aggressive, aren't they?
No.
Hammerhead sharks?
No. I would not say. We've grown up together.
So
they've grown up with me. So I think when we dive in here, we had some studies from a university sitting here to see how the behavior is when we dive in the tanks, and it's very little, especially with the hammerheads. The reef sharks, the black-tip reef shark, don't like divers that much. So when we dive in that section, they go down here and vice versa. But the hammerheads, they just go right by you. So
impressive,
beautiful.
animals.
That's a normal surgeon fish. And if you come see the Dusumei, it comes very close. They're quite big, and I think they're around 1.5 kilos. So you have that in a normal tank, that would be in a very big fish. But that
would look even big in your tank.
Yeah, exactly. So
1.5 kilos.
And they're also from the beginning. They're also from Taiwan, and they're also 12 years old. To see them, it's amazing. Oh. Nighttime. Sorry, guys.
Now it's night.
It's time to go to bed.
Well.
So this is the when it gets dark and they have to go to bed.
Oh, wow, look at this.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, this is a change.
It's quite nice. It's all the golden triolis, exactly, yes. Another funny story. Before I had this job, I had a small pet shop in Denmark, in Copenhagen here, and I sold all these guys for the old National Aquarium Denmark, who moved here, and they were only around, pet shop size 2 and 3 centimeters, and then they were fed up in the basement in the old aquarium, and then they were transported out here and put
these
into
are
this
still
tank.
the same animals?
It's still the same animals. We bought a few new ones, but most of them are still from my old shop, 13 years ago. So.
Very impressive.
And these are some of the fastest swimmers in here. Actually, we use them when we tell about fish and the behavior and how fast they can swim. So we have a zookeeper standing up here and try to feed them over here, and then another zookeeper on the other end and feed there, and then you can see how fast they're going. It's pretty neat.
We just noticed that the light turned off, so now it's nighttime, and the aquarium looks completely different than it did 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
So is this the moonlight?
Yeah, it's kind of moonlight. It goes on because one thing you have to remember when you're in an aquarium is also business. And we have opening hours sometime. If we have a party here or some company rented the rooms, then we have to have light for maybe to midnight. The normal opening hours is around 6 o'clock in the evening. So then we have the normal light. To get in the middle between business and animal behavior, then we have the moonlight here in the nighttime from around 6 o'clock to midnight. And then this one will go off, and then we will close this section where we have animals, so they then have 24 hours of light.
I see. You can.
And we also have a big screen up here. We can actually take it down, but we don't use that. But when we have parties and rent this section out of the aquarium, we will ask around midnight to go down to the restaurant where they can party and do, and then everything will close down.
We're at the freshwater section, and it's huge.
Yeah, it's quite big.
And very big display.
It's only the beginning.
Only the beginning?
Yeah, we have the rainforest with bigger ones.
Well, we haven't been walking around prior to taking these videos because we are on a schedule, so it's...
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Well, it's oh no!
Maybe I should go turn on the lights.
Yeah, so we had to actually wait for an hour now to to switch on the lights, and that's why it's past beer o'clock. So this is why we are actually having a beer now, because we've been driving all day and we've definitely earned it. Thomas has earned it for opening up the aquarium for us.
Yep.
So really,
mine is over there. So
yeah, right. We still have some. Yeah. You said that you had problems with the freshwater tanks.
I'm not a doctor, but we had different kinds of parasites for a few years we were struggling with. And then, you know, over a beer probably, one day, we talked about, let's try to get some more water circulation. I think the conversation was starting on that we had too much pollution and, you know, dead spots in the area. So then we tried, actually we stole one of the abyss pumps from the coral reef just for a few days and added it here to just see how is it. And the tanks are big, but they are not that big. Yeah. But then we turned on the pump, and then within a few weeks, Peter, our freshwater guy, he told us that he could see a big difference on the health of the fish.
That is
I don't know why, but I had fish for 41 years now, and I think that too many people, also private tanks, have too less circulation. Because it's not only good for the fish, it's also good for the environment and pollution and spots in the area, in the aquariums.
This is something that we've discussed the last days visiting the other aquariums, that it's always the mixing of the water can lead to a problem. There's areas where you have less oxygen, there's areas where you just have biological stuff sitting down and degrading, and that can create, you know, issues. Also auch nochmal hier kurz zusammengefasst, es gab hier bei dem Süßwasseraquarium einige Probleme mit Parasiten und kranken Tieren, und mehr durch einen Zufall über eine kleine Diskussion abends kam es dann dazu, dass hier ausprobiert wurde, wie das denn sich wohl verhält, wenn man die Strömung erhöht. Das heißt, vorher wurde nur quasi die Rückleitung der Filtration verwendet, um das Wasser auszutauschen, und dann hat man Strömungspumpen einfach aus dem Aquarium rausgenommen, also die kleinen von uns, und hat die hier reingebaut für eine Zeit lang, und nach einer Woche schon konnte der zuständige Biologe hier einen definitiven Unterschied erkennen, dass diese ganzen Krankheitssymptome abgenommen haben und dass auch die Anzahl der Parasiten wohl deutlich abgenommen hat. Also in diesem Fall war es wohl äußerst hilfreich, hier die Strömung zu erhöhen in diesem Becken. Und das haben wir gerade noch mal besprochen. This is special.
It's overgrown.
Yeah, no, but just because it's dim.
Yeah.
So it really feels different now walking in here.
Kind of cool.
Kind of warm.
And you can hear the concert, the Copenhagen Rock Festival.
Oh yeah, right. I hear the bass.
Yeah, so we're still in the city. But it's original Costa Rica rainforest. And if we go this way down, I think you will see some very big fish.
All right, let's go for the big fish then.
We have bats flying around, and we have lizards running around, and we have frogs. So down here we have a lot of bats in the nighttime. But
these are big fish.
These are quite big. And that's the Arpina.
Yeah.
And red-tailed catfish. And they are massive. I would assume they are over 100 kilos now.
Over 100?
Yeah. So they are.
But
big.
they get bigger, right?
Yeah, they get almost, if I remember correctly, twice as big. And over here we have a big school of piranhas.
That is a big school.
Yeah. I think we are around 800 or so. It looks nice from down here. People ask, are you diving in here? Yeah, and we dive here, and they just go down in the other corner. So they're pretty frightened fish also.
So it's not like this urban legend that you go in and then you're eaten alive?
Not in a fish tank.
Okay.
Maybe in nature, if they haven't been eating for a week or so, and you jump in the river, and maybe you have a school 10 times as big as this. Maybe it's like that, but here it's not. They don't like me. I have all my fingers.
Alex, was hast du so mit Süßwasser?
Naja, also ich habe selber früher Süßwasseraquarien gehabt, bevor ich mit Riffaquarien angefangen habe. Aber ich möchte mal behaupten, ich habe nie so intensiv Süßwasser gehabt, wie ich ein Riffaquarium in den letzten Jahren betrieben habe. Das heißt, da ist eine Grundverbundenheit immer da, und wir haben natürlich auch eine Menge Kunden, die die Pumpen auch im Süßwasser einsetzen. Wir arbeiten auch eine Menge mit Teichen. Das sind natürlich auch Einsatzzwecke für die Pumpen, und letzten Endes fasziniert jede Form von Aquarium. Also ich habe auf den letzten Konferenzen so viele tolle Süßwasserbecken gesehen, dass man sofort eigentlich wieder Lust hat, nochmal zusätzlich auch ein Süßwasserbecken einzurichten. Also auch da schlägt das Herz dafür. Es ist halt alles, was irgendwie mit Wasser zu tun hat, macht uns Spaß. Deswegen ist es ja auch eine Freude, wenn wir dann sowas machen können wie hier. So you just told me that there's 48 48 exhibits
Yes.
in the whole aquarium.
Yeah.
So it's mixed freshwater and
Yeah, we
salt
have
water.
you know, cold north salt water and fresh water, and then we have warm salt water, fresh water. So this now is a local Danish fish from Danish lakes, salmon, trout, sea bass and stuff like that. And then we go over to normally eels, but we're not allowed to stress the eels, so they're not turned on.
Display at night.
It's the best ever. Come to Denmark to see that one. You haven't seen it before, I promise you. So, and then we go over to, I think these are not Nordic, I think they're from Alaska actually, but funny fish. And if I remember correctly, they're quite old. Over 60, 70 years, some of them.
60, 70 years?
Yeah, I'm not totally sure, but I think so. They're quite old. So.
Well, you guys are doing a good job in keeping animals alive.
Yeah, we're
obviously.
really
If you
good
caught
at it.
all the sharks right there, and it's that's impressive.
It's because of the pumps.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
A Danish reef, that's all we got. It's actually a wrasse. It's one of the most beautiful fish we have in Denmark. I'm sorry to say, but it is.
Well, it is beautiful.
It is.
I mean,
when it's
that's a
mating season, it's totally blue. So it's a bit dark now, so we have 2 shutdowns. So
yeah.
That's a big lobster here.
But this gives a, you know, a special feeling to the tour.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you people, it's a little bit like a night in the museum. What a rock work.
Yeah, it's a copy of the rocks you have on some islands at the Faroe Islands.
Okay.
So and it's not a seagull, it's a special bird. But it
It's
looks like a seagull.
Okay.
The roof is open, but with a mesh. So, but a lot of people think it's the seagulls from the harbor out here coming in, but it's not.
Getting some fish.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then you have it in the blue wrasse. That's the same we saw over there. So
That's the same
it's
wrasse.
the same wrasse. Yeah.
Okay, but that one's already mating season, or why is it
Apparently.
Okay.
But I can see we need to clean the glass tomorrow. The sea otters is out here. They probably went to bed now, but beautiful night in Copenhagen.
As you see, it's night.
Yeah.
So it's not dark, but it's night. It's now
11 o'clock.
10 to 11.
And here have you all the sea otters taking a rest. But can you see what the bed is made of? Ice cubes. So they're sleeping on ice cubes.
They're sleeping on ice cubes.
Yeah.
And I've never seen otters sleep.
Yes.
So I've been to all the public aquariums, and they always, I mean, the otters always work, like for
But
everyone.
These are,
But I've never seen them sleeping.
we call them baboons on speed. Because they're tearing everything apart. And we are using around, if I remember correctly, around 200 to 300 kilos of ice cubes a day.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh. What?
Activities.
Something's there. Hello, hello. Well, I think they'll fall back asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cute.
They are very cute
Yeah,
and
okay,
cuddly.
sorry. No, we woke you up.
Sorry guys. Sleep tight, no food
Sorry,
before
guys.
tomorrow.
Good night.
Wir sehen ihn ein ganz kleines bisschen.
Also da ist ein Oktopus drin. Also es ist halt Nacht und wir sind gerade bei den Ottern gewesen und ich sage euch, es ist so niedlich. Eine ganze Kiste Otter auf Eis. Also das ist wirklich das Beste, was ich je gesehen habe. Das ist, es klingt irgendwie nach Abendessen, aber die sind natürlich alle in Ordnung und die werden auch alle morgen wieder gefüttert, also denen geht's gut. Aber das war einfach so süß, sowas zu sehen. Total toll. So, liebe Leute, ist schon drauf? Ja. Alles klar, ja, dann können wir das drin lassen. Also, so liebe Leute, wir müssen jetzt leider aufhören. Die Tiere werden sonst zu sehr gestresst. Das heißt, wir werden uns jetzt hinter die Kulissen begeben und das Video seht ihr dann in der nächsten Woche. Thomas,
Yes.
thank you so much
Anytime.
for making it possible that
Yeah.
we can come to this fantastic aquarium at
Anytime.
night and have this special tour. So
Yeah.
it's really, really great.
Big pleasure.
We're gonna go behind the scenes and you guys are gonna see the next video probably next week or the week after, but just leave us a like and subscribe to the channel to get some more information on what we're doing. All right, take care, bye bye.
Cheers.